Hi, this is Mary Ellen with Portraits of Me, and today I'm coming to you with a library book haul. I recently went to my hometown to pick up my mail. I have a P.O. box, and on the way to the post office, I always pass my local library. And I decided to make a detour and check out the books my library had for sale, because last time I went, I found some really good books for a very low cost, and I thought I might do the same on this trip. And I'm so glad I did, because as you can see, I did find a little pile of books that didn't cost me a fortune. So let me share with you the books I found on this trip to my local library. One of the books I found was this book right here. It is called At the Water's Edge, and this one is a historical fiction book about a couple, Madeline and Ellis Hyde, who are looking for the Loch Ness Monster. And although the story involves the husband Ellis, it looks like the main character of this novel, the one you're going to take that journey with the most, is the wife, Madeline. I think that's her on the cover. So I'm looking forward to reading this when I get a chance. Another book that I found was this one right here. This one is called Into the Wild, and this one is actually a true story, and it's about a man in 1992 who was from a well-to-do family, and he hitchhiked to Alaska and walked alone into the wilderness north of Mount McKinley. His name was Christopher Johnson, and he had given $25,000 in his savings to charity, abandoned his car and most of his possessions, burned all the cash that he had in his wallet, and invented a new life for himself. But 4 months later, his decomposed body was found by a moose hunter. So this sounds very interesting. It's not very long, but I love, and it might sound kind of grim, but I kind of like true stories that have these kind of like mysteries to them, where you don't actually know what happened to them, and you're trying to find answers by the clues that were left behind in their life. So this one sounds like a very interesting story, and I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. I also got this book right here, which is a Billy Crystal biography, and this one is called 700 Sundays, and this one as well isn't very thick. And I do like Billy Crystal. I'm not a huge fan, like I can't name many movies that he was in, but I know who he is as a celebrity, and I know he's pretty funny, so I'm looking forward to reading this book about him. And this one, it says, in a book about heroes, about laughter, about family, one of America's most beloved entertainers takes us home. And so I think he's going to share his childhood summer days with us in this book right here. So I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. And you'll probably hear me say that with all the books I bought in this haul. This next book I bought because I've seen this on a booktube from several booktubers, and I know it's like a middle grade YA novel. But I didn't realize until I got home and looked at it in more detail, it's not the first book in the series, which when I was at the library, I scanned the cover, I scanned the back, I thought, okay, this is the first book. I'm not going to fall into that trap of buying the second or third or fourth book of a series that I don't have any of the other books to. Unfortunately, I fell into that trap. And that is for this series right here. This book is The One. And I think what threw me off, it says here, The One, Book 3, the selection series. But I think when I scanned it, I saw The One Book, the selection series, or something to that effect, where it made me think this was the #1 book in the series. But it's not. So now I have book 3 to a series I haven't read yet, and which I don't own books 1 or 2. So I'm not going to be getting to this one anytime soon. I'm not going to go into the synopsis about this because I don't know what book 3 is about. So there you go. And that is why I kind of don't like series. And the last book that I purchased in this library book haul was one that I got because of sentimental value. I saw this book and it brought back childhood memories of when we owned it as kids, and my mom used to read it to us. And that is this book right here called Little Toot. Have you guys read this book? I was showing this to my husband after I bought it, and he said there was actually a cartoon as well with Little Toot, which I didn't know, and which I hadn't seen until he brought it up and made me watch it on YouTube. So now I have seen the cartoon, and I also have the book.
Now featured in this epic is a ship of proud design. No, it's not this ocean liner. We take a different line. So with a huff and a puff and a chug, chug, chug and a perky little hoot, we introduce our hero, the tugboat Little Toot.
So this one here is about a little boat named Little Toot who tries to do things that the bigger toots can do, but unfortunately he just causes problems, and eventually he is banned from the harbor until a storm is raging, and Little Toot, he ends up doing something very heroic, which I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's part of the story. But if you have not read Little Toot and you have children, this is one book you might want to add to your collection. It'd be fun to read to them, and then also to watch the Disney cartoon that was made after this book. Before I go, I do also want to share one more book. This one is not one that I got from the library book sale. This is my first ever Goodreads giveaway that I entered. I actually won a book finally. And the book that I won, that I entered the giveaway for, was White Stag, which is right here. This is actually an ARC because it is not available until January of 2019. I am hoping to get this read before the release date in January, but I'm not going to guarantee that because the holidays are coming up and I have a lot of things planned for the holidays. So I'm not sure if I'll actually get to this before January, but I am going to try. It sounds really, really good. It says, "We're all monsters." That tagline gets me right here. And then in the back it says, the first book, so it looks like it's going to be a series. You know how much I love those. The first book in a brutally stunning series where a young girl finds herself becoming more monster than human and must uncover dangerous truths about who she is and the place that has become her home. White Stag. So it looks like a new release from a new author making her debut in the literary world. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Okay, and that's really it. Those are all the books I want to share with you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like to buy books at your local library, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. If you're interested, I would love to do more of these library book hauls for you. If you are not part of the Portraits of Me family, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell next to it, and you'll be notified whenever I do a video. Sorry, checking my time just to make sure I'm not running over. And I guess that's about it. So thank you again for watching. May you have a good morning, day, evening, or night, and I will see you in my next video. Stay tuned because now comes the bloopers. Bye. So let me share with you the books this monster actually is. Okay, I just said that whole synopsis wrong. So what the story really is about, well, I don't know if it's physical, just who's unable to serve because of some inability that his son has, and his, oh my gosh, I can't think. Goodreads, ooh, what is it called? Oh, Goodreads